joining us now. New York Times reporter covering billionaires, including Elon Musk, and MSNBC contributor Teddy Schleifer. Former communications director for the RNC and Republican strategist Doug Heye joins us, along with senior writer at The Dispatch, David Drucker. All right, so I'm going to put up on the screen Donald Trump's tweet about sending Elon Musk back to South Africa. He says Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good, hard look at this. Big money to be saved. Teddy, do you put stock in that threat?
I don't. Clearly, Trump loves to say that he's open to anything, right? We'll see is always his stock answer, as you know, Katie. Well, I mean, so when he's asked about deporting Elon, he says, we'll see, because everything is open and will be decided in 2 weeks. It is obviously true that, Elon Musk does get a lot of subsidies for his companies through the federal government. It is true that Doge still exists. So it's true that Doge could look into Musk, but this strikes me as kind of saber-rattling as much as it does that Elon Musk is saying he's going to primary every member of the Republican Congress.
Teddy, well, what about his ability to do that? I mean, he is the world's wealthiest man, but the Tesla stock took a hit this morning after this fight opened up again. Year to date, the stock is down 21%, though it has rallied over time. He said that he was going to do less political spending. I just wonder if he loses a subsidy or two, Tesla stock goes down, is he still going to have enough money to do the political campaigning or the political retribution he may want to?
I've detected zero actual concrete development on this plan over the last 48 hours. Musk is clearly just saying things. He feels upset about the passage of this bill or the looming passage of this bill. It is very easy to say that. He's going to primary every Republican member of Congress. I believe that he'll spend money to elect someone like Thomas Massie, who is being targeted by Republicans or the Trump White House and could face a Republican primary. But the idea that Elon Musk is going to be supporting brand new Republican challengers, again, not to like 20 holdouts or something like that, but to nearly every Republican who supported this bill, strikes me as preposterous, and I do not think that we should take it seriously.
David, what's the word in the White House on this?
Look, I don't think they're worried too much about it. I think we've seen ever since the Musk-Trump feud broke out that Trump has gotten the upper hand on Elon Musk. And look, it is true that a lot of Elon Musk's business interests are tied up into government contracts. And as important as some of those are to the U.S. government, when you think of Starlink and SpaceX and things like that, ultimately, Donald Trump has shown that he's willing to punish anybody who crosses him, and in this case, he just has the upper hand when it comes to the ability to do that. I think the more interesting part of the story, Katie, is the fact that Elon Musk, as savvy as he is in business or has been, was really not too savvy about politics, because if he at all paid attention to Donald Trump on the campaign trail and at all paid attention to Republican voters, he would have known there wasn't a big appetite to cut spending or deal with the debt. There never was. There hasn't been for years, if ever. And if he can find, even 10 Republicans that are viable challenger candidates who will run on meaningfully tackling the debt, that in and of itself would be an achievement. Whether or not they won would be another story.
That is interesting. Doug, what do you think of that?
I've tried to pay as little attention to this as possible. Donald Trump and now Elon Musk, they create so many sideshows that what we're seeing now, and literally your description into this segment is the most I've paid attention to Elon Musk probably in the past month. This is more reminiscent of when Andy Cohen brings in reality TV stars at the end of the season to have a back and forth on his show than anything that's really politically substantive. And there's a whole lot of substance going on in Washington right now, whether you like the substance or you don't like the substance, that I think voters would be much more beneficial of if they paid attention to, what's in the bill, what got removed from the bill, what Congress is going to do next, and so forth. Because I can tell you, and David knows this from the conversations he's had over the past week and the amount of time he's spent on Capitol Hill, House Republicans who are texting each other right now, they're not texting each other about Elon Musk. They're probably texting each other about Medicaid.
Okay, David, are they?
I imagine they're all texting each other and telling each other what a horrible bill they have to deal with, and that it has elements of what they want, but it has so many other things that bother them, right? If you're a centrist Republican, there are not too many of those, but if you are, you're concerned, let's say, about the Medicaid cuts. If you fashion yourself a budget hawk, you realize it's not going to not only not eat into the debt, but it's going to raise the debt, and we're already at 37 trillion, and everybody's scrambling to pass something with a majority that's about a handful, it's about 4 or 5 members large, if that. And it's just a very frustrating process. I mean, this reconciliation package, the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which they've named it that, is really an omnibus policy bill. You've got border security, you got tax cuts, you got spending, you got Medicaid cuts. And it's really, really difficult to understand what's in it. And then even when you dive into some of the specifics, for instance, the provision that would eliminate income taxes on income from tips. Well, it doesn't just do that, writ large. It's only if you make a certain amount of money. It's only for a certain amount of years. And then you're going to have to reconcile some of the things in the House bill with the Senate bill. So the big question now is, what does the House do with this? Many of them struggle to pass their version. They don't like this version. They didn't like their version all that much, but they've got to do something.
There's another interesting angle to this, Teddy, other than the bill, but the relationship with Elon Musk and Donald Trump's relationship with tech and billionaires broadly. You have people like Steve Bannon who have come out and just railed against the tech broligarchy, as he calls it, buddying up to Donald Trump, saying Donald Trump was not winning on the backs of them. He was winning by running against them. I wonder if this break with Elon Musk could open up a break with Donald Trump more broadly and the tech billionaires that have come to his side since he won.
Yeah, I mean, Trump doesn't really need these people at this point. I mean, Musk is a unique figure in that he is a cultural icon as well. He has 220 million followers on X. He obviously owns the platform. Like someone like Mark Zuckerberg or Alexander Wang at Scale AI or Sam Altman at OpenAI. Like these people, Trump wants them to invest in the United States. He wants to have good relationships with the business community for policy reasons. But the upside of hugging them is not high, especially when you're pointing out, what you're pointing out, what Bannon is saying, there is a part of the Trump coalition that's very distrustful of these figures. Trump is not up for re-election. There's not going to be another, $250 million super PAC run by Elon Musk to help Trump like there was in 2024. And I think they just have less leverage than they did a year ago.